Okay, once again, sir, you're not, you can't just put a handprint in the concrete. 안녕하세요 여러분, 제르민의제요. My name is AJ and welcome back to Shadow Spinner Reacts, where we are on episode 3 of Moving. If you haven't seen this yet, make sure you go watch it first. You can currently find it on Hulu or Disney+. I strongly recommend watching it on Hulu because that's where you can find the original Korean audio. And last time I checked on Disney+, they only had the dubbed version, which is sad. Makes me sad on the inside. But anyway, yeah, so we've got episode 3. There's a lot of stuff that happened in the last episode. This show is progressing very quickly. A couple housekeeping things really quickly. Please don't forget to check out the Patreon. You can go ahead and vote in the polls, get things up to 3 weeks early, watch the full uncut versions, or you can just hang out here with me on YouTube. But I do ask if you can go ahead and drop a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. It really does help with the algorithm. But that's enough housekeeping stuff. Now back to the fun stuff. With Moving, we've got kind of like, so we've got multiple generations of people with super abilities. So far we've got 4 people in Gen 2, I'm gonna say. And that's Hisu, Bonsuk, Student Council President Dude. I still haven't caught his name. I'll pay attention for it. And Bus Driver. Those are the 4. I don't know if it's direct skill that is passed down, like if you inherit the same thing that your parent had, in which case I'm curious with Strength Dude that died in the first episode what possible relation is to Student Council President Dude, whose parents we haven't seen yet. We've got, I'm thinking it's NIS, that's involved here, but they're not the organization that's killing people. We've got the nefarious organization that is killing people that I'm pretty sure it's because they don't want any other players in the game when they do whatever their Grandmaster secret plan thing is. We've got, so far, now we had a hint of the main bad guy's, like, what his powers were. It had something to do, like, he set off a frequency that shattered things, but we only saw him use it in the first fight. He didn't really seem to use any abilities in the second fight. He just kind of beat the tar out of somebody, which is impressive if he weren't evil. But yeah, and we've got a tree that's been punched in half, which we all know is going to come back and bite somebody, because you can't be going around punching trees in half. I'm not going to mention any more on that subject. I know I kind of beat that up at the end of the last video. I'm really not sure where things are going to go today or how fast things are going to progress. All I know is that I'm really hoping he's not, you know he is, because the photo was not burned particularly well. They burned off the face, which is going to slow him down a little bit, but it had the name of the school on it. It's not hard to hunt down those records. Also, we know that he's his dad, clearly, very clearly from his expression, he's on that list somewhere. He's on the list. He's on the list. I want to know who's on the list. I just want them to show me who's on the list so that I know who to be concerned about. But without further ado, let's go ahead, get this recording. It's not related in any way to actual people. We don't have actual flying people. That's cool. That almost looks like practical effects. I know it's not, but for the movie title, if I ever see a delivery from that company, I'm going to be, like, paranoid about it. Get out of there. Oh my gosh. You gave me a mini panic attack right there for no good reason. You were waiting for the 1+1 delivery. I'm not gonna lie, triangle kebab's really good. He's just so bubbly. Looks like he got beat up, would not call it a fight. So he had his future taken away from him, or what he perceived as his future taken away from him, and now he's like trying to rebel against the world to try to make up for it. Yeah, the president had something to do with why he had to go home. Donkatsu. I feel that I've had to do that before, where you're like holding on to things and you gotta open doors with your feet.
같이 한잔 할까?
여기 술 안 돼요.
아, 참. 사장님.
My restaurant, my rules.
빡빡하게 구네. 손님 나가라는 거야, 뭐야 지금?
Then you can
이런
leave.
식으로 장사하면은 야 소문 확 나가지고 확 다 소문 내버릴 거 아니야.
주방에 갖다 놔. 술 안 팔아요.
Lovely. Lovely. Except for this kid's not actually a threat because he's too nice.
오케이. 주벌 끝.
But now it's gonna get cold before a customer orders it. That's not how that works. You need... Oh, that's not how that works.
네, 죽어서도 신선한 치킨입니다. 네.
What a horrible slogan. It's still fresh when it's dead.
대출.
Oh, sir, marketing, opening day stuff. Free samples for, like, the first week. Did you at least talk to the other businesses in the area, find out how much they get walk-in traffic? You can't just open it and magically have people know you're there. You got schools nearby. Did you make sure you had pamphlets up at the schools?
너 방금 아빠 걱정했잖아. 아빠 응원하고 싶잖아. 같은 거 아니야?
He's very insightful. Like, he comes across as naive, but he's really actually not that naive. Like, he's very aware.
계속 붙어 다니네.
응, 우리 되게 잘 맞는 것 같아. 부모님 자영업하시고 친구도 없고.
Loners have to stick together. You're also part of that group, buddy. Tuck your shirt in. Tuck your shirt in. It's not gonna come out by rubbing it with your thumb. Tuck your shirt in, buddy. Or slice your thumb right now. That might be the point in time to, like, accidentally cut yourself with a, I don't know, a pen or something. I am so glad that this was not a thing that we ever had to do in school. Like, even as punishment, this was never a thing we had to do in school.
해본 적이 좀 가만히 있으라니까.
He's still saying it wrong. Is he about to start floating away? Oh, yep, he floating. Oh my gosh, that is so unfortunate in so many ways. Like, 1, you're floating away. 2, you have to clean the bathroom, and now you've got water everywhere, and also you're about to be soaked. How are you gonna explain this? Like, you are soaking wet, sir. No, because remember last time he was watching the clock.
부모님 자영업하시고 친구도 없고.
Always exactly on time.
강훈이 왔어?
강훈.
네, 아버지.
Okay.
다녀왔습니다.
So that is his dad, okay. Oh my gosh. So that's all he does is sit and wait for him. You eating all the chicken because nobody ordered it. That's why you wait for the order and then you make it. You have it all prepped, but you don't actually cook it until an order comes in.
너를 응원하고 싶은데 그 방법을 모르시는 거잖아?
아빠,
That's right. Talk to your dad.
지망하던 애가 왜 갑자기 제대냐고.
Because
왜 그런 결정을 했는지
It's what I can get into.
얘기해봐.
하면서 튼튼하고 운동 잘하잖아.
너 그게 지금 이유가 되는
I mean, yeah, kind of. Like, I want to go into it because it's what I'm good at.
아빠 응원 고마워.
He's like, you didn't even discuss it with me. That's why I'm talking to you now. She does seem very happy. And that's got to be a combination of, yay, she's finally talking to me, and also, like, worry that she's doing it only for financial reasons and not because it's what she actually wants to do with her life. Dude, you're like crushing some random person on the bus. You back up. Yeah, back up. He's so happy to see her. You're gonna float on the bus again. You need to calm thyself. That's gonna be the message for him, is calm thyself. But he reminds me of, like, Peter Pan in the movie Hook and Tinkerbell. It's, think happy thoughts and you can fly.
내가 어제 방에서 봤거든.
She's like, I saw him.
누구랑 싸운 것 같았는데. 너 뭐 알지?
He's like, you know what happened, don't you? You know what happened, don't you?
그렇지 뭐.
It's stuck to his face.
어떤 거라?
Dude, you guys need... You don't know this yet, but you guys need to band together and form your mini super team quickly. Because it's gonna take all three of you at once to take down the bad guy. And I have a feeling it's gonna be up to you. It's gonna be up to the second gen. He was thinking about giving her the water bottle. He put the water bottle in his bag. Why is it so hard? What's happened to him? Is what I want to know. What's happened to... And they said his name, and I, once again, forgot it. What do you... Good kid. He's a good kid. He's just straight up a good kid. Did he turn on every single light in the school? He lit up the whole field for her. She gonna hear it anyway. Mother's always here. You can't sneak up on your mom.
친구 때문에.
친구?
친구?
네가 친구가 있어?
Whose house are you at? Oh, it's the school. It was the teacher. I thought I saw the teacher on that list. Oh, that's where the bus driver also graduated from there. But he already graduated. He already graduated. Is he a plant? Like, this would be a really good time for, like, him to be a plant. Please. I mean, he was acting sus in the last episode. Or at least they did a very suspicious camera zoom onto his face. So I hope he's connected to somebody that can be like, yo, there's this suspicious guy over here at the school with 3 students and a bus driver. Well, this bus driver's not specific to the school. He's a city bus driver, but... Wait. He needs to feel like he's doing something for her. So even if she switched, like, even if it's gonna be substantially less expensive in the long run, he's still gonna want to do things to show that he's there for her. It's a thing parents have to do for their kids. So she's doing, like, all of the things. She's not specializing in any particular specific sport.
천천히 먹어, 천천히.
아 진짜 배고파 죽는 줄 알았어.
Oh my gosh, yeah. When I was in cross country, they used to make us eat so much food. They were like, we were burning so many calories. You gotta eat nonstop because we were like, we worked off every single calorie we ate because we were running so much. So I feel that, like, starving constantly. But you can't be giving her your food. You need to be weighed down.
먼지가 뭐 장난 아니라고.
네, 알겠습니다. 가.
Something's going to happen. Does he still actually have an ability, or is she just good at sports? Because, like, she seems fast, but not, like, super fast. She is running out of breath. But they said that she's like them. And clearly something happened. Dude, it's just her overshirt. She's still perfectly decently dressed. I've always hated running those. Trying to reach the 65 mark. Especially it's hard to do from standing still. It's easier when you're got a running jump. I heard that! Oh, I heard that. Oh, he has been exposed. He's been exposed.
언제 왔어?
너 괜찮아?
나 괜찮아. 나 안 다쳤어.
Does she heal or something? I mean, that's a good power to have, but it's not useful in a fight. Her ankle should be messed up.
야, 좋겠다. 좋은 데 살았어서.
It was a warehouse. Yep. Assistance with sit-ups. No. You leave your happy place. You cannot be happy right now. You cannot be excited. You cannot be thinking any thoughts. student president is concerned for her, but he definitely saw that whole fly-in incident. That was
잘 되고.
not something you could miss. That was an odd camera thing to do. He gonna start floating again. She gonna find out his secret right here and now.
너 괜찮아?
나 괜찮아.
Yeah, it's nothing happened. Can we just pretend that nothing happened? No, nothing's weird. Everything's fine. We know just nothing happened.
네, 나갈게요.
Oh, let's hope she didn't see it either. Oh my gosh. Oh my, sir. Yeah, Mr. Student Body President saw that. He saw that. He knows. He is aware. Okay, but that's okay, because he's on our side, and nobody else saw? Nobody else saw. The janitor didn't see. Nobody else saw. We got, and she's really low reaction. Okay, once again, sir, you're not, you can't just put a handprint in the concrete. Sir, you know, I wanted to say something about how they're not paying attention, but he is the least responsible of all of them. What was even the point of that? What was even the point of that? You just want to see if you can do it? You're just showing off to nobody but yourself? Sir. Mr. Student Body President, sir. Oh, she's still doing her, vlogging routine. Nobody's gonna mention the, handprint in the concrete. I always had a love-hate relationship with training in the rain. Oh, she's inside, though. Mr. Student President, sir. You need to train as well. Specifically, you need to train how to minimize the strength that you use. Okay, she's not completely oblivious, but her reaction was a lack of reaction. What's she thinking? What's she remembering? What's she contemplating? So she's following him. She's testing something. Okay, the mud would not have lasted that long. It's not like his shoes are constantly producing mud. Eventually he will run out of mud to leave on the floor. It should get lighter and lighter until it's not there anymore. Because there's just a finite amount of mud. But she is figuring it all out.
그때 막 숫자 그거 외우던 거 그거 뭐야?
원주율이잖아.
그거 원주율을 왜 외워?
버릇 같은 거. 버릇.
버릇? 나한테 무슨
Thought it was a spell or something. Well, it kind of is.
그 나는
He's gonna start floating again. Yep. Okay. Well, that's a way to end an episode. With him floating up into the ceiling. So, any emotion will set that off. Concern sets that off. So, anything will set that off. The heart flutters will set that off. The fear, any emotion at all. So when he needs to center, he's literally trying to shut down all emotion. And actually, math is not a bad solution. No pun intended. Because when you're doing something that is purely logical, it does help you shut down the emotional portion of your brain. But it's better if you do actual equations. Not repeating things, but like actual equations. Like if you're trying to solve the square root of 27 and you're thinking your way through the numbers. don't let yourself get frustrated, but you like slowly think your way through the numbers because you're focused on a logical task, like that you're trying to get a correct solution to, even if it's wrong, because you're focusing on the logic, it helps shut down emotion. So he's not incorrect in that. He is incorrect in pi. He's got pi wrong. I've already did that rant though, so I'm not going to do it again. Look, nobody died this episode. Nobody died this episode. We didn't see the bus driver. Well, did we see the bus driver? I don't think we did. We didn't see him this episode, but we didn't see anybody die this episode. So we're not 3 for 3. So we're slowing down the kills a little bit, thankfully. We don't know who Eun-suk's dad is. We don't know who his mom is. We don't know who Mr. Student Body President's mom is. We do know his dad. His dad sits and waits for him every day. And he is sitting there long enough that it has made a difference in the coloring of the thing that he's sitting on. And that he's timed it exact to the second. Mr. Student Body President now knows... Well, actually, 2 people know Eun-suk's secret that shouldn't. I don't know what her ability is, because it's sports-related, but so far, it doesn't seem to have given her any particular benefits. She's a fast runner, but not, like, indefinite stamina, super speed. Like, she's really fast, but not to the point of it triggering everybody around her to think something's wrong, and she's out of breath when that happens. So I don't know what specifically her thing is yet, although I'm thinking it has to do with something to do with the rate that she heals, because we all heard the crunch on her ankle. We all heard that crunch, okay? They highlighted the ankle crunch. She rolled it badly. That was bad. But she was not even walking with a limp, like not even a temporary, like even if you're actually fine and you just twinged it, it's still for the first couple of steps going to hurt. You're still going to limp, even if it's only for like 5 minutes. Nothing. So I'm thinking her recovery time is really, really fast, which is good in the long run, but also horrible in a fight. Well, I mean, I guess she did seem to pretty instantly heal. So long as she doesn't die, it'd be constant regeneration. That could get her decently far. It won't help her win the fight, though, because she's still got to get her punches in. And I don't think she's a punchy person, but maybe if we, I hate to say use her as a punching bag, if she could be like the damage taker, she takes all the damage because she can absorb it, if healing actually is her thing, and we can use that to distract the guy long enough to go in with Mr. Student President's punchy thing, which he needs to stop randomly destroying things. I'll get back to that in a second. Bong-suk needs to have more control. Without control, he's a liability. If he can get control, if he can find a way to actually manage it and control where he's going and the rate at which he's going, that could actually be a huge benefit. But right now he has no control, so he's just a liability. So I'm just trying to think how the 3 of them could work, because they need to very quickly get on the same page, because they have a limited time frame in which to learn how to work together in a combat situation, because I think that's coming up on them pretty quick. I don't know what ability Mr. Bus Driver has. I hope he has an ability, and he needs to work with the other the other 3. They need to work together on that. And he says that her dad was also good at sports. He needs to step in and like combat train his daughter. I'm actually surprised if he really is on that list, and if he does have an ability and he does know that there's a risk that he hasn't already combat trained his daughter. Like, if I was in that situation, I'd be combat training my kid. So his mom's got a gun under her sewing tail. I would have taught him how to use it already. I get that she wants him to grow up and be a good, kind-hearted kid, but like, there is a potential target on his back, and running only works until you get caught. if you never get caught, it's great. But when you get caught, if that is the only skill you have is being in hiding, and once the gig is up, you got nothing to fall back on. You have to know how to fight or how to flee or how to do something. Yeah. So, and then what is going? Is he just so like alone? This Mr. Student Body President is he just so alone that he has no other sense of identity? He just needs to show off what he can do so that he can remind himself that he can do these things, but he doesn't keep himself in check. He's not working to keep himself in check. I need to know what happened to his, like, there's so many questions up in the air. And I was right last episode, by the way. They were zooming in on the security guard for a reason. He's clearly tied to somebody. We didn't see who he called, though. But I'm guessing Mr. Creepy Principal, who we also haven't seen at all this episode. There were a lot of people, actually, that we did not see this episode, which is kind of surprising to me. We did not see... We barely saw the antagonist. We did not see the bus driver. We didn't see the creepy principal. We did not see the one teacher who always seems to be sucking up to the principal and acting kind of weird. But like those four characters, we didn't see anybody from the NIS either. Like there were some very, very conspicuous absences in this episode, and I know it's probably because we're focusing on the fact that he's been exposed, but I'm waiting for those to come back around. But we've got to get the three of them all on the same page. We need them to be a unit. I really thought, based on the way the first half of this episode was going, that by the end of it, the three of them would be a unit. But that didn't happen. The most he did, he pulled out the water and was thinking about giving it to her, but then he didn't. He saw her get hurt, and he was thinking about going over to her. And to be fair, he did see somebody like fly. But like the point is, he hasn't made any actual moves. But he very clearly, like, that got to him when she said, "Oh yeah, we're both loners whose parents run shops." Like, that got to him. You usually don't think of somebody in that position as being a loner, because usually that's a pretty popular position. But he really doesn't seem to have anybody by his side at all. I feel kind of bad for him. But also, I think for somebody that's supposed to be, like, his character is portrayed as being a fairly intelligent character, but oh my gosh, he does some stupid things. Okay, so the last part of your brain to develop is your brain continues developing until you're 26 years old, and the last part of your brain to develop is the part that allows you to think through the long-term consequences of your decision. Like, that, like, literally, there's a part of your brain that allows you to really process all of that. I'm like, you can still do it, but it's not as central to your thought process when you're younger as it is when you're an adult. Like, literally, that part of your brain has not formed yet. So it's not surprising to me that he, the teenager, is doing these dumb things and not thinking through the consequences. Like, what were you thinking when you let the fight go that far? What were you thinking when you punch a tree in half? What were you thinking when you're like, I'm just going to jump and put my handprint in the cement? What were you thinking, sir? You weren't thinking. That's the answer. You, Mr. Student Body President, were not thinking. I really... And I'm surprised that nobody mentioned that there's a random handprint in the concrete. Like, I would think everybody in the school would be like, yo, did you see what happened in the gym? But there were no whispers of that the next day, which is interesting. But that's all I've got for now. I can't make any predictions. Like, nothing else has been happening in the other plots, really, except for that apparently the bus driver graduated from the same school that they're attending, which is problematic. They did fake me out at the beginning with the delivery to the market. But I have no predictions. I need to see more of the other side plots to really think through further predictions. But I am hoping that we get a cohesive team at some point. One, because they desperately need somebody who could actually potentially do damage in a fight, and two, I just really feel bad for that kid. Like, he clearly has been alone for way too long, and he needs buddies. But that's going to be it for today, so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, don't forget to go check out the Patreon so that you can vote in the polls, or get things up to 3 weeks early, or get the uncut reactions, or just hang out here with me on YouTube, whatever floats your boat. But we will be back next week with the next one, but that's it for today, so bye-bye, annyeong!